party going on at midnight? What do people expect is going to happen here tonight?
Yeah, I'm caffeinated and all that stuff you just said, yeah.
Congratulations on the 1,000 subscribers.
Thank you very much. I would have had it a little bit quicker, but it took me 3 months to convince Richard to subscribe. So.
I'm loving those beats, man. I'm loving those beats.
Wow, the V-Sharp Travel Show, finally. This is, you're like my Oprah. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Saturday Live Show. So excited to have you all with me today. I really look forward to these live shows all week long as I'm putting the videos together. So thank you for everyone for showing up today, and special thanks to today's moderators. Thanks for keeping the chat clean, doing what you do every week. And you're also a sounding board for my videos throughout the week, so I appreciate that. Sometimes they tell me to stop sending the videos. Enough, Richard, just use the video. We don't need to approve it. So thank you for all that you do. I wanted to say special thanks to last week's guest, Sky Samuels. She was really interesting. Great guest to have on the show. Really appreciate her making the time for what was her 25th birthday celebration. So we celebrated that on the show. If you're new to the channel, go check that one out because that was a great interview with Sky Samuels. Our guest for today's Vlogger News a little bit later in the show is actually Tom and Ryan from the YouTube channel Eat Out Pattaya. I had such a great time with them last week. I asked for them to come back. They were like, we'll see. We'll check our schedule. And they said, yeah, we'll come back. So excited to have them back, man. They got great energy and just really had a good time talking through all the new vloggers that we're going to promote today at the 1 hour mark. So the green screen today is actually because Keis One is residing in Bangkok. My green screen is a rooftop bar in Bangkok, Thailand. So our guest today, Keis One, so excited to have him on the show. We've been in communication for a while. It fit in with the schedule, and he's actually very excited to have come on the show. And we had a great pre-interview a couple of days ago. Oh, man, guy's super smart, super smart. So we're going to go through a lot of different things today with Keis on the show. One of them we'll be talking about is a tech corner, fastly becoming one of the favorite areas of the show when we talk to guests is around what technology they're using, what's in their bag, I'm calling it. So I wanted to call out Keis for promoting the live show on his social media. Got a lot of people coming in the show right now. Appreciate that. And appreciate those vloggers that promote the show when they're coming on. Just got to tell you, not all YouTube creators do this. See, Keis is a professional. He asks for the links, man, posting it, doing an Instagram story, posting on his community tab, Facebook, everything, calling his friends and family. Everyone's coming into the live chat. That's great. But not everyone does that. Those people that don't do that, well, they only come on once. Yeah, it's controversial, Richard. Am I canceled yet? Not yet, but hey. So wait a minute. For those of you probably thinking like, hey, wait a minute. Last week, Richard, you said that 20 Seconds in Thailand was going to be coming on this week. So unfortunately, Rob's good friend named Boomer, actually in Kamala Beach, passed away. So they're having the service for him tonight, celebration of life in Kamala. And I thought what I would do, I've never met the individual, but good friends with Rob, and it's, a very important person in Rob's life. So I thought what we should do is have a minute of remembrance for Boomer. So I put together a little video tribute for him. I hope Rob likes this, and just wanted to play this for about 1 minute, moment of tribute for Boomer, who just passed away.
Did you make it? Did you break free? Did you manage to be who you wanna be? Maybe somewhere you think about me too. I wonder where are you now? Wonder where are you now?
So that was for James Boomer, better known as Boomer to his friends. And just wanted to kind of play that for him. I know that there might be some individuals at his bar in Camilla Beach, maybe watching the live show. So just wanted to say thank you for tuning in. And that was for Boomer. So Boomer was actually from Ohio here in America. And he spent a lot of time in Barbados as a restaurateur. He owned a bunch of restaurants in Barbados before moving on to Thailand and was a business owner there in Camilla. So good friends with Rob. Sorry I can't make it on the show this week, Rob. We're going to reschedule you for later when it's a good time. But we got Keis One coming on today. So excited for Keis. It's going to be great. So wanted to go on to the next topic here, which is to welcome everyone to the live chat. I got my own agenda today, going through all my topics. Now I can welcome everyone. So Big Daddy El Rob coming in. Awesome. Good to see you there. Crew Muran coming in. Phil T. Awesome. David from Wales saying RIP to Boomer. Appreciate that. Thailand Digital Nomad. That's great. Nice to see that. Toby Price made it in today. And Pokemon will not be replaced. There we go. Tommy J, producer of the show, in the house there. And we got Sonny saying, yo, Keis. Keis got a lot of friends coming in here. Keis is saying hello to everyone there too, which is great. Gotta love Thailand. Saying hello. And Dave stayed up for this. It's usually pretty late for people to come on the show and to watch over in Thailand. So I appreciate all those individuals that might be somewhere in Southeast Asia tuning into the show. And Eat Out Pattaya saying, yeah, we're amateurs still using MySpace. Yeah, that's okay. I think that's Ryan texting that. Ryan's in charge of the profile for that. And then I think Tom does the other one. So yeah, still using MySpace. I don't know if anyone's logging into there anymore. Although I hear that it's still operational. I don't know. We'll see. Got Fa 1985 saying hi to everyone. Anders was in the live chat early again by about a day. I think he was in 24 hours early. Appreciate that. Like everyone that's coming in here. Robert N saying hello there. We got CJ in Paradise and Legend Daystate Fox made it in today. Appreciate that. And Chocolate Man in Thailand. Here, just see what shirt Richard has on. So that's actually a great segue. I love James. He always knows some good segues. So check this out. The latest batch of t-shirts almost did not arrive in time. Man, I was sweating it. I usually order these things way in advance. I actually have 6 weeks of what I call reserve shirts. They're not my favorites. I order them, they come in. I'm like, I'm not going to wear those. So I'm always looking for new ones. I had 4 that were on the way. They delivered them to the wrong address. Yeah. So there's some a-hole walking around in my city with these shirts on. Yeah. Hey, he stole my shirts, man. But this cool thing was I wanted to thank my t-shirt supplier, T-Shirt Hell, controversial place. Hey, you might not like all the t-shirts there, but most are pretty funny. But I want to thank Mika for their help because Mika actually sent out a second shipment of shirts to the house overnight air. And I got them yesterday, just in time for the show. So excited. That's great. I tried working with FedEx. They wouldn't go pick up the package. They wouldn't redeliver it. No help at all. But T-Shirt Hell did. So I actually sent them a thank you. I told them I'm going to be wearing their shirts on the show, maybe a little cross promotion going on in the future, but wanted to thank them for sending out that second shipment. So I'm good for the next month of shirts. So who knows what it's going to be next week, but it'll be something controversial. So thank you, T-Shirt Hell. Appreciate that. So perfect. One thing I wanted to talk about was the upcoming guests for the show. So we do have quite a list coming on. Baldy Brian in Thailand is coming on next week, December 3rd. We got Greeny Travels coming in the week after that. And we might be having Phuket with Carrie coming on. So you might remember Carrie came on a while back, about a year and a half ago. Her channel name then was Carrie Away. And she's in Phuket. So she may be coming back on December 17th. We're still checking it out. It's pretty late in the evening for a lot of individuals in Southeast Thailand. So we'll see if Carrie can come on. If not, we'll throw Rob in that area there. Appreciate that. So we got a good list of guests coming up, which is great. If anyone is interested in being a guest, just feel free to send me an email at my email, richardtravel@gmail.com. And I should say, that's actually a great segue into one of my videos around what is the email. Gator Jake's so nice. Gator Jake's a moderator in the show, subscriber. He set up a nice little video of him in Chiang Mai saying my email. Let's take a look at Gator Jake.
If you would like your channel considered for vlogger news, please email richardtravel@gmail.com.
So Gator Jake takes his videos very seriously. I should tell him, smile a little more. It's okay, Gator Jake. Smile, a little levity. It's good. Maybe fake a fall or something like that. But thank you, Gator Jake, for making all these videos. I got like 20 of them. I'm always trying to figure out a way I can kind of slip them in there and stuff. We got a new Vlogger News intro and outro courtesy of 20 Seconds in Thailand, Thailand Raw. Pretty funny stuff. So make sure you stick around after the Keis One interview, and we're going to be going through Vlogger News. If you're new to the channel, we do this hour and a half format where I bring the guest in. We chop it up with Keis for about 45 minutes, take it to the hour. Then we go ahead and bring on some alternate guests for the Vlogger News. And we talk about some vloggers you may never have heard of and some you have. And we try to promote those other individuals to grow their channels. So this channel is all about promoting other YouTube creators and making sure that they're getting an audience out there. So thanks for tuning in today. I really appreciate that. We're bringing Keis in about 3 minutes. Let me just go back here to the chat, and CJ in Paradise saying hello to Mr. Mitch. And what the hell is Thanksgiving? Is it a U.S. thing? It is a U.S. thing. It's a thing where we overeat. We eat way too much food. Jake McShane in there saying hello, everyone. Ready for another great show. Appreciate that. Stratosphere Tarot says new sub here. Well, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate that. Go back, check out all the other videos. We got some great live shows with some other YouTube creators that have come on. So hopefully you like all those. Mikey Story saying hello to Mr. Mitch. And Mr. Mark saying, hey, Richard, first time watching you. Well, thank you. And see, thanks to Keis, such a promotion expert, man. Marketing the show up today. Got new subscribers coming in. I got to try to get him some subscribers. Pressure's on me now. He delivered. Came in early, came to his pre-interview. Great. Everything's good on his end. I got to start to return the favor with some subscribers. So please, if you haven't subscribed to Keis One, go do it right now. So he'll be happy with me. And Mr. Mitch saying hello to James. Mike's Wave 2 saying hello to Mitch. Perfect. Great. And Jay Trader saying hello to everyone. That's a new face in there I haven't seen before. Kevin Chang Noi. Little Elephant saying good morning. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Great. Perfect. Really good. So what I wanted to do is real quickly just talk about, well, one or two things. I think what I might do is keep the currency exchange to when we do the Vlogger News. That might be a good thing because we'll actually talk to Tom about the exchange rates. So I think that'll be good. And a lot of the other stuff. Oh, one other thing. I make all these videos during the week. It's so interesting because the one thing that does not get a lot of love is the outro for the show. And a couple of reasons because of that. First of all, it's the last video that I get a chance to take a look at. So it's usually like, just keep the outro the same. And then also I noticed that numbers kind of drop off for the outro. So I don't have much motivation to do a stellar job on the outro. So I was just thinking about that this week. I was thinking like the poor little outro for the show. It's like the redheaded stepchild of the show. Doesn't get much love, gets updated like once every 2 months. But I did throw a little update in there this week, feeling kind of bad about it. So at the end of the show, we'll play a cool little outro. I post all the comments of the show during that time. So, make sure to stick around for that. So let's think about bringing Keis One into the live show. And I'm going to play his cool little intro video. We're going to bring Keis in about 30 seconds. Gives me a chance to reset the overlays. And we'll see Keis in here about 30 seconds. Keis One, welcome to the Saturday Live Show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's good to have you, man. I just love your background. I talked about this in the pre-interview. So cool, man. You got nailed.
I love it too. I love it too.
Yeah, you must like seeing that like in videos and stuff. I know you do a lot of videos from your pad when you're talking about editing stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. I guess it's important to have a good setup.
Yeah, that's like exactly why I did it, is because I wanted to, and it's a big part of why I chose where I lived as well, because I wanted somewhere that I could make videos and that would look cool. So yeah, the lights work.
Yeah. Now, whereabouts in Bangkok are you?
So I'm around the Nana, between Nana and Asok, but quite a fair way back from Sukhumvit Road.
Okay. You kind of like it there, away from the hustle and bustle a little bit. It's a little quieter.
Yeah. yeah, I'm away from it enough, but I can still walk there, so or stumble home from there. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that's a big thing for me. I spent a lot of time in San Francisco, like 12 years downtown San Francisco. So hustle and bustle. I loved it until I started creating videos and editing videos. Then I found like it's kind of important you have a quiet workspace, at least for me, when it comes to editing, because it gets super serious quick. And I got to tell you, so my question for you is, I know a lot of YouTube creators will like kick back, have a beer, and edit their videos. I can't do that because I'm not sharp. So I kind of hate that when I see other YouTube creators like a beer. Hey, I'm editing videos. Are you able to drink alcohol or not when you're editing?
Absolutely not. No, I do it in the morning because I'm the most focused then. And when I say morning, it's usually like 10 o'clock because that's when I wake up. But
yeah,
that's morning for me. It's usually the first thing I do. I wake up, eat, and then I'm focused and I just try and knock it out as efficiently as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm getting pretty quick with all the hotkeys on Final Cut Pro. We're going to talk about this in the tech corner, so I don't want to steal a thunder there, but I feel like that's definitely important, is to be quick about it, especially when you're pumping out content like you are, like every day or two, like you got a new video coming out, man. It's insane.
Yeah.
So before,
but yeah, like you said, sorry to cut you off. Like you said, getting quick at it, like using the keys and everything, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I can't imagine having to go up and like select, and then sometimes I have to do that if I can't find what I want to do. But the hotkeys are definitely way to go.
Yeah.
Cool. So before we get too far along, because there's so much stuff I want to talk to you about, Keis. Like I want to talk to you about why you left Australia. I think that's a great story that not a lot of people hear about, even though you profiled it on a couple of your videos. Most probably haven't heard about that. I have a video question from one of your subscribers, one of my moderators. So I wanted to play that for you now. His name is Brock's Travels. Kind of a heavy hitter there. And guess what? He's from Perth, Australia.
Cool.
So he's a big fan of your show. Let's play this video. He has a quick question for you, and we'll come back as soon as I can select the video. We'll be good. And here we go.
Okay, all right. This is Brock from Brock's Travels in a somewhat rainy Dunman Saduak, Ratchaburi, Thailand. I have a question I'd like to ask of Keis One. Adam, do you intend to go back to Klong Toi and visit your friends along the railway line? I find those episodes really fun and interesting. And second question, how come the name Keis One? It's hard to relate to Adam. Thank you. Good night.
Add it up.
Well, thank you, Brock, for your question. And I guess we can get at the first question first. You were kind of excited to hear about that one, right?
Yeah, it's a great question because honestly, like making the videos in Klong Toi and going to Klong Toi is like one of my favorite experiences and favorite things to do here. The first time I did it just to make a video on it, and then since sort of made friends and I've been going back more and more, and I've actually been back a few times without the camera. So it is somewhere I do enjoy going. I took a friend, one of my best mates from Australia was out here just recently, and I took him down there. I said, like, it's an experience you have to experience here in Thailand, and we had a great time. So yeah, I do try and go down there quite often. Video wise, I don't want to do it too much. But thankfully the videos actually do really well, which is good because a lot of the time the videos I enjoy making aren't the most popular ones, but this one, they seem to work in Klong Toi, which is great.
Yeah, I think so. We were sharing a little bit of a story on Messenger app this week because you launched a video recently, Pattaya versus Bangkok. When I saw that, I'm like, oh, Keis, I did one similar back in the day and it did not perform well. I'll be interested to see how yours performs. You came right back like not performing well.
Yeah, no, it didn't
but you produce so much content, like another video comes out the next day. You're like, oh, I'm back normal.
I mean, that's a great thing about being daily is that like if you do put out a not that great video or a video that's not performing well, it's like, whatever, there's another one coming tomorrow. You don't need to dwell on it.
Yeah. And Toby Bryce is saying, when is your first F-bomb coming?
It won't be, baby.
Yeah. We actually talked about in the pre-interview, like Keis is such a gentleman. He asked like, hey, so if I let some slip, is that okay? Yeah, shit. Yeah. No problem. No, that's great. And Chocolate Man in Thailand, James saying you're afraid of kangaroos.
No.
No.
Love kangaroos.
And James is saying never edit drunk. Hilarious. And
Yeah.
Keis One is good friends with Dan the Man, who is starting another channel. This is his
Yes,
third
sir.
attempt, right?
Third
Your good
attempt,
friend.
yeah. And it's doing well. It's doing really well so far. So yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah. How long have you guys been friends? You guys seem like pretty tight.
We met basically. He moved out here just before I did, and he was starting YouTube. He had a small channel. Well, actually, he had a channel with 10K that got shut down just after he got here. So I'd reached out to him on social media. I liked his videos, and I reached out to him and I said, I'm coming out as well, and I'm pursuing YouTube. Love to hang out and shoot a video together or something. And we hung out and just like instantly hit it off. And that was within my first few days here. I think we hung out, and then just been great mates ever since.
Yeah, he seemed like a really nice guy. I'd love to have him on the show. He's got a great personality.
Yeah, definitely.
Really good. So,
I realized I haven't answered the second question.
Yeah, I was going to get you back to that. That's okay. I'm a professional,
cool.
man. I was going to bring you back.
That's good. I have a habit of just going off. So please, like, bring me back in if I go off the rails.
I know you made a video about this though, but I want to hear like your take on it again, because I think it's an interesting story. Keis One. So why is Keis One?
Keis is Keis One. So when I was younger, it was actually the first time I'd ever smoked weed. I was with a bunch of friends. I think the original video I turned it down and I said it was one of the first times I drank. But the true story is it was the first time I'd smoked weed. It was with a bunch of friends, and we had a deal. Like we were doing it at a friend's house, and he said, no one's driving, so put your car keys in the bowl at the front door, and then put the keys away so that no one can get in the car or whatever. And we all sort of started smoking, and I'm very aware of everything, and I'm like checking my pockets or whatever. So I start like looking around the couch, and I'm like, where are my keys? My friend's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm looking for my keys. It's like, they're in the bowl by the door. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Then I don't know, fast forward, and 10 minutes later, I'm doing the same thing. I'm kerfuffling around in the couch, and my mate's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, lost my keys somewhere. And they're like, dude, in the bowl at the door. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. And then again, like one or two more times, I think I did it again. And so just like every time my friends would see me, they're like, oh, where are your keys? Where are your keys? And then I guess the name Keis just kind of stuck after that. So
I think the sad thing about that story is I think that story is going to repeat in about 40 years when you're much older.
Yeah.
That kind of stuck, huh, Keis?
Yeah, so it stuck. So I spelled it differently when I started my Instagram. I think I couldn't get Keis with a Y, so started spelling it differently. And then I had it across every social media platform, Keis One. So I'm stuck with it, I guess.
Yeah. So do you prefer Keis over Adam?
Look, Keis is my nickname. I don't mind. The funny thing is, in none of my videos, I think only one or maybe two of my videos out of the nearly 400 that I've done, I've ever said my name. And it's obviously like people have caught onto it and they say it in the comments and stuff, and people refer to me as Adam a lot. But it's funny, I've never actually referred to myself as Adam, or maybe just one or two. But I don't mind either or.
Yeah. That's interesting. So Mike's Wave 2 says, do any of these women you spend time with get jealous of each other? So people that don't know Keis One, he's quite a ladies' man. A lot of beautiful ladies like to hang around with Keis. So
yeah, well, I mean,
let us know.
So like, no, because I'm very, very upfront. I have to be, right? So I'm very upfront with people when I meet them for the first time. I mean, a lot of people kind of know who I am anyway. And when they get to know me, they can see it's all like my whole life is, well, a part of my life is, available for everyone to see on social media. So I tell people when I meet them, and the majority know going in that this is what it's going to be. And I'm not looking for anything serious. I'm open to it, but like, I'm not actively seeking that. But I'm very upfront about all that right from the beginning. And some people that they're not interested in that, and that's totally cool. But actually the women like that have all been in my videos, pretty much all of them have met each other through me. Every single one of the girls that have been in my videos, I'm still fantastic friends with to this day. And yeah, a lot of them have met each other in sort of things that I haven't shown on YouTube.
So there's no controversy there. See, everyone loves each other. It's great. Perfect. You gotta be a friend. And Phil T is saying Adam just expresses himself like most of us Aussies get excited. You drop an F-bomb in there. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll come. It'll come. Well, he's into it.
It's so funny, Keis, because I grew up like blue collar, like my family was in construction. My dad, my uncles were all blue collar workers. And I used to work on the job sites and cleanup. And I swear by the age of 10, I was like dropping F-bombs and getting in trouble at school. And it was nuts, man. Like age 10, like I was talking like a sailor, man. Just because when you're raised around that stuff, like it's just second nature, you know? It's so nuts.
Yeah. And Australians as well, we swear a lot. Like it's very, very common.
Yeah. Yeah. So I want to take a step back because I feel like there's an interesting story here around your travel to Thailand from Australia initially when you decided like, listen, so I don't want to be in Australia anymore. I want to talk about that story because I don't want to paraphrase it because I feel like you did such a great job of talking about you're in your career in hospitality in Australia and you sort of decided like, I don't want this life. So I want to kind of talk through that a little bit with you.
Cool. And if I go on again, bring me back in because I can ramble on about this for hours. But no, look, essentially, like for many, many years, I mean, after I started traveling, I had this desire to travel and seek a very different lifestyle. I'll quickly share a story that I haven't really talked about much on my YouTube. But I had a girlfriend back in Australia many years ago. She was Korean. She was from a silver spoon family, absolutely loaded. And the parents would just send her money every week and like more money than I was earning working a great job. And she just could live the life and do whatever she wanted, but she wasn't at all materialistic. So, you know, I'd come home from working a 10-hour day and I'd be like, what did you do today? And she's like, oh, I went for a walk in the park because it was a nice day. And then I went and sat at a cafe and met friends and we just sort of hung out for a little bit. And then I went home and I'm like, God, like this girl has endless money. And all she did was go for a walk in the park and hang out at a cafe. And it's like, fuck, that's what I want to do. You know, like what I started to value things very differently. And a really cool thing that hit me with her is like her and her friends, she had other friends in similar situations. And when they would talk to each other and they asked the time, they would round off to the nearest hour because the minutes didn't matter. So if it was 3:15, it's 3 o'clock. If it was 20 to 4, it's 4 o'clock because that's the nearest. And I was like, because they don't have anywhere to be or anything to do, you know? And I'm just like, God, this is such a cool lifestyle. So I longed for that for the longest time. And I'd be sort of working and I was, you know, career minded and trying to progress and do as well as I could. But the whole time it's like, I didn't subscribe to that. You know, I was doing that because I was doing it, but it's not what I really, really wanted. So when I started traveling, Thailand was the first Asian country I came to in 2010, I think. And it just opened my eyes to the world. You know, prior to that, I traveled to the US and New Zealand and islands and stuff. But it's when you see a completely different world, it opened my eyes and I was like, how do I come live here and live a different lifestyle? And, you know, I'm not materialistic, so I don't crave those things. I wanted to just be free and travel. So it took a long time, but in 2017, I made the move. I quit my job mid-career doing really well and moved to South Korea. And I had, like you said, I had so many people reach out to me and tell me I was making a mistake and I was crazy to be doing it, but I stuck with it and I'm so glad I did.
Yeah, I think that was interesting because we talked about this a couple of days ago about how you really kept your eye on the prize. You didn't acquire a lot of credit card debt. You weren't buying like fancy cars, getting strapped down with a car payment.
Oh,
so
I was spending money on cars.
Oh, yeah. Well, did you have like a car payment or just like spending money on like upgrading your existing car, that kind of stuff?
Everything.
Yeah.
But you know,
so that was a problem for you then. So you were kind of like going down that rabbit hole a little bit of like more, Yeah. So it's interesting because I feel like when people start to tell you what you're doing is wrong, that's usually an indication that you're making the right decision because people are jealous, like, oh boy, he gets it. Like you're stepping outside of the matrix, I feel like, you know, but it's difficult not having that support. So, what did that feel like for you? I mean, I guess you had probably friends and family that were supporting you, but it sounds like a lot of people were not.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very fortunate. I've got super supportive family. My friends around me, they all knew it was going to happen. You know, I would like to think that if I say I'm going to do something and I'm hell bent on it, that it's going to happen. And I think my closest friends, they knew. They said, no, he's going. It's going to happen. So it was just a matter of mustering up the balls to do it, really. The light bulb moment I had was one night I was talking to one of my dad's friends and I was telling him about this. I'm like, oh, I'm going to go live overseas. I want to go live in Asia for a year or whatever it was. And he said to me, oh, I almost did that once. And that it hit me so hard that he said he almost did that. And I'm like, fuck, I don't want to almost anything. like, I don't want to be saying like I almost did whatever. So I literally I typed my resignation letter that night and handed it in to my bosses the following day, and then that started the whole don't leave, you're a rising star, all that.
Yeah, I
Right.
feel like you had a similar experience in your recent video. I don't even know if it's like the latest video, Keis. You produce so much content. But it's basically you talk to a guy, a subscriber of yours in Bangkok, and you're like, hey, what have you been doing here? He's like, I've just been staying in the hotel room. Just, you're like, dude, so you're crazy. I would have loved to have heard that conversation, first of all. Like, you're talking to a subscriber, like, dude, you're not getting it. Like, can you please unsubscribe? Like, I don't need you. But
no,
but
like
you-
I gave him a bunch of advice from it, and I'm hoping he takes some of it on. So
yeah, I feel like you were kind of trying to tell him, like, listen, get out of your comfort zone. That's when the lights come on.
yeah,
Do you find that to be true? Like, get outside.
absolutely. I know I talk about this a lot in my videos, but every time I push myself to get out of my comfort zone, and going back to Klong Toy is a perfect example. The first time I walked into Klong Toy, I was terrified. Like, I didn't know, like, what's going to happen. Am I going to get robbed? Like, I'm just a white guy with, $2,000 of camera equipment and jewelry, phone, whatever. Like, I'm the perfect target for something to go wrong if something was to go wrong. And I was on edge. I was uncomfortable. I was nervous in there. And then look what's happened from it. I met this incredible community, these amazing people. And honestly, the first day I was in there, the first time with Dan, that day I'll remember forever. There was just like so many amazing things happened that day. And because I pushed myself to get out of the comfort zone, that wouldn't have happened if I stayed home. So
Yeah, it's such a good point you make there. And I feel like, so I had a similar thing. When I first came to Thailand, I almost like packed up and went right back the first day. I came to my hotel room. I said, I'm going to go for a little walkabout, left the phone in the hotel, everything. Just going to go around. I got lost, Keys. So hot. I couldn't find my way back to the hotel, asked for directions. Nobody knew where my hotel was. I literally came back. I was like, screw this. I'm out of here. I'm going back. But to your point, like, I actually stayed and just chilled out. Like, hey, just take a chill pill, Richard. Like, honestly, like, everything. Went out to a bar, met some local Thai people, had like the best, still to this day, that's the best time of my life at one of the beer bars in Pattaya. Friendly mama sans, just so much fun. Day drinking turns into night drinking, and it's like just time of my life. That's when I realized, like, this is the place I want to be.
yeah, and it's really funny you share that story, because I had a very, very similar experience. So the first time I went to Korea, I went with a mate of mine, and he was Australian as well, but I think he was living in Malaysia at the time. And we went to Korea, and I was always obsessed with Korea, and I wanted to go there. I was really excited to be there. But after, I think it was 2 days, he had a work emergency. He got called back. He had to leave. And he left, basically. And I was in Korea by myself. And Korea is extremely overwhelming. There's almost no English there. It's a very intense, I was in Seoul. It's a very intense city, and it was quite overwhelming for me. And I had this moment as well. It's like, ooh, do I stay here, or do I maybe go somewhere else, or go somewhere I'm more comfortable? And I was really uncomfortable on the first day, and I just like pushed myself to go out. I was like, you know what, I'm going to go do it. I took the subway for the first time. Similar experience. I went out to a bar that night by myself, which was really intimidating. I'm in a country where they don't have much English at all, and I just walked into a bar by myself, got chatting with a guy, and he brought me over to his table with his friends, and I met someone else and met a whole bunch of people, and they're like, we're going here on Thursday. Then like my whole week was kind of booked up within this one night. Ended up in a karaoke bar at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's like, these are the experiences you almost miss out on by not pushing yourself.
Yeah, and I feel like it's so different when you get out of your home country, especially anywhere in Southeast Asia. People are so friendly, and not like in that weird, creepy way in your home country. Like, if people are overly friendly in my home country, I'm like, all right, what do they want? Like, what do you want? Hey, can I borrow this? It's like, honestly, it gets to be weird. But people like in Thailand specifically, I found are just so friendly. And I really love that. I miss that actually about that. So I love that you kind of shared that same thing with South Korea. But now, interesting, you actually studied the language for a while. I know you mentioned on one of your videos, like, you were actually able to speak a little bit of Korean when you were living there, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty decent, actually. I can sort of hold down decent conversations. I can read and write. I put in quite a bit of effort before I moved there to get good at it, because you need it, right? Like, if you walk into a 7-Eleven over there, they don't speak to you in English. It's just all at you in Korean. And if you speak to them in English, it's like roll the dice whether they understand you or not. And the people, I mean, the younger people, they learn English in school, but the older generation, they flat out, they didn't learn it. So that most of them can't speak it unless they put in the effort themselves. And the older people are who you deal with. They work in the restaurants, they drive taxis, they're, you know, in the shops that you go deal with this. So yeah, I put in a real effort to learn it before I came over. And I'm glad I did. You know, learning as an adult is a lot of fun. I hated it as a kid in school, but I really enjoyed it as an adult.
Yeah, I wish I could go back to like high school years and really like put myself into the language, or actually have the choice to choose. It'd be better if there were different languages, right? Like, oh man, yeah, don't really have much choice in school. You're going to do this. I had Spanish. I learned Spanish. ¿Qué tal? That's about it. Yeah. So Jake McShane has a question for you, Keith, saying, have you tried to learn to speak Thai? You speak a little bit of Thai, right?
I'm okay. I'm better than I let on, because sometimes I think I'm good and then I realize I'm absolutely terrible. But I like, for general, like little day-to-day thing, like I can walk into a restaurant and order food and do all that in Thai. I know words. I can flirt with girls a little bit.
Yeah.
But I do plan to put effort in. Dan just started studying, and he's doing like an online course. It's just, I think he does two-hour courses a week online. Yeah. And in watching his progress has been like, oh, wow, maybe I should invest my time to do this as well. So when I first moved here, it wasn't my plan to live here. It was never my plan to settle here and be staying here as long as I have. So at the beginning, I put in no effort. I was just here waiting out the pandemic to end so I could head over back to Korea. But I've since fallen in love with the place, and I've extended this apartment for another year. So here for one more year at least. So I do plan to put in more effort in the new year and get better at Thai.
I love that. So I want to transition into a little bit of what I call the tech corner. Talk about some technology, because I got to tell you, so speaking about like when you first started the channel, came to Thailand, I guess you had the channel in South Korea, right? And then you just,
it was just a hobby then. I did it just for fun. I think I had less than 1,000 subscribers. And most of them were probably like friends and family and people that I'd met randomly. And I'm like, yeah, subscribe to me on YouTube. But no one that actually cared.
Yeah, so that's when I found you, is when you first came to Thailand, Pattaya. My friend Tommy J, moderator, say props to Tommy J, turned me onto your channel. He's like, gotta check this guy out, Keis One.
Nice. Thank you, Tommy.
Thank you, Tommy. And one thing that got me right away, Keis, is like your videos have good momentum. You keep it going. And the music you were choosing was unlike anything on YouTube at the time. And I guess the question, I get to ask the questions first, and I'll go to like what everyone else wants to hear about. But where do you find your music? Are you using Epidemic, YouTube Library?
God, I put so much time into this.
It shows, man.
Well, thank you. That's a great compliment. I appreciate that, because not everyone likes my music. That's a big criticism I get as well. But I mean, music's entirely subjective, so I get that. But I put a lot of effort into my music. Because truthfully, if I could make videos, like I would rather not even be in them. You know, for me, it was more, I enjoy the shooting. I like getting the shots. I like trying to build the cinematography and playing with the music and mixing it with music and cutting up the music. I edit some of the music myself a little bit as well. And that's what I kind of enjoy doing, that side of it. So finding the music is, I mean, I've used Epidemic Sound. I feel like I've extracted just about every single song from there that I like, because I use a lot, right? Like I have sort of 2, 3, sometimes 4 songs per video, a video almost every day. So, you know, I'm using like over 100 songs a month sort of thing. So I can invest a lot of time, download 100 songs, and it's like a month later, they're all gone. I've used them all. So Epidemic, I've bled dry, I think. And then I went on YouTube and I was just searching for royalty-free music, finding artists that I like, and then just like digging through their playlists. It's a very, very time-consuming process.
Yeah, it is.
And then same, I'll download 100 songs, which pretty much takes me an entire evening, which is fun, but it's a lot of work. And then, the month comes around, I'm like, oh shit, now I got to spend a whole nother night finding music. And the more you do it, the harder it gets. I'm running out of music that I like.
Yeah, for sure. I'll tell you, one thing I started doing, I almost listen to Epidemic like it's Spotify now. Like if I get in front of the computer for any reason, I'll go on Epidemic and just start playing songs. and then I'll do my work. And then sometimes I'll have that one song. You know what it's like, Keith? Like, oh, I got to use this. Like, this is an awesome song. And then the cool thing is, like, usually you can get a couple uses out of that one song if you use different parts of the song, right? But
yes.
I love Epidemic because you can kind of move forward. You can see how the song is structured and if it's going to work or not right
just
away.
Looking at the little waves, right?
And I don't know if audio library, if YouTube library is doing that now, because I feel like before they weren't. See, it's so time consuming to go through their music, you know? But I've heard there's another one called Artlist, I think, that a lot of creators are using. Have you heard of this one?
I haven't, no. The thing is, like, I mean, Epidemic, and there's other ones. I hear the same songs on so many different people's videos.
Yeah.
And everyone ends up using the same stuff. So it does get difficult to find music, because if, say, Epidemic or a different one, I've used Soundstripe before as well. They were quite good. But then, like, I would hear the same songs on other people's videos, and you end up running out of music, I guess.
So it's funny because I went off to this place called Audio Jungle, and I actually found an awesome song that I love. That's like a rock song, so great. I purchased the song like for $9. I got the rights. I got like the email confirmation with like, here's the rights to the music. Oh man, got flagged every video from YouTube. I had to like fight it. Like, no, here's the stuff. It's like, but it takes time. Then YouTube doesn't push the video. You know, it's
that's the problem. Yeah.
It says
even some of the royalty-free music that I download, people say, oh, it's royalty-free or like it's free to use, and it'll have copyright strikes in it. So I actually test them all first. I'll download all of them and I upload a blank video with all the songs, and I'll just see which ones have copyright. And quite a few of them do. Like, I don't know if it's people trying to make money from it. You know, they can say, oh, here's a royalty-free song, and then they can claim it and make the money off your video. But it's a process for sure.
Yeah, I feel like that is the case. Like, I think you have people like that are just like looking for larger channels that are monetized, because I got to tell you, you have to be pretty diligent in the YouTube library to go through your videos, even like the older ones. Make sure, all right, still greens, not red. Okay, cool, I'm good. Because I can imagine someone with as many videos as you have, it's probably pretty difficult to stay on top of it all, right?
Yeah, but it's something I need to do, right? Like, YouTube's been real tough on me lately. I think I've had about 8 or 9 videos demonetized, or go to limited, and it's just an automated thing. So I've appealed every single one of them and got every single one of them back with a human review. But it is something you need to stay on top of, because otherwise you're losing out on them. Yeah,
I think it's super important to kind of go through that, because you don't want to have that strike or the claim on the channel, which is no good. But it is a process. It takes forever. It's no fun. So I want to talk to you about something, because you have like 8 million views on your channel. I don't know if you've checked lately, but you're like right at 8 million. Yeah, so 44,000 subscribers. And I always feel like when I talk to YouTube creators, you know, subscribers are important, but it's kind of just a vanity metric. Like, we get paid on views. You don't get paid on subscribers, but subscribers do help grow the channel, right? What's your take on that whole views subscriber thing?
I mean, views is, like you said, views is most important. But I think it's like, I see great channels that put out great content. They've got low subscribers and the views aren't great. And I do wonder if it's because you see, oh, it's only got 2,000 views and they don't have many subscribers. So there's a balance. I know I was checking my subscriber number sort of every day up until, I don't know what the point was, somewhere high 20s or low 30s. I stopped caring. I sort of reached a level that I was really comfortable with, and anything above this is just nice. So, but at the beginning, I mean, that's how you get validation, right? People can watch, but do they? Yes, the views are important because that's how you get paid. But do the people really enjoy it, or like you enough to want to subscribe, or did they just watch and be like, okay, whatever? So yeah, it's a balance for sure.
It's so interesting because I feel like, so your music is so unique. And you mentioned like, hey, you listen to a video, you'll see like the same song that was used elsewhere. I had the same issue. I finally started to get smart when I was going through Epidemic. Like, I wouldn't use their featured songs they'd recommend, because I'm sure they're recommended to everyone else. I'm like, I'm not going to be caught up in that Epidemic failed attempt. I'm going deeper than that. So I spend a lot of time, just like you do, to find that right song that I won't hear anywhere else. But I don't know what it is about you, Keis. Like, you're just going down a different road for your music. And I would say, like, keep doing that. Like, don't let the haters get in your ear. Like, your music is so great, man. It's what sets you apart. Like really, really cool. I'd love to hang out with you just to kind of go to the clubs that play that kind of music that you're interested in, you know?
Oh, like it's a real, like, that genre is, I mean, I don't even really know what it's called, right? Like, it's technically chill hop, but then if you search chill hop, a lot of the music that comes up sort of falls into that lo-fi category for me. So I'm very specific about the music I like, and it has to, you know, when I listen to the music, I have to be able to see a video or get a feeling from it. I'm like, okay, this song will suit a rainy day, or this is a song by the beach, or something like that. I need to feel that from every song, and I sort of download them and I put them into folders of what feeling I get from that song. And then, yeah, when I'm putting together the video, I can find a song that sort of suits that mood.
Yeah, I feel like music selection is super critical. And one thing I get from your videos talking about like the feel of the music is, man, it's just like uplifting. Like if I'm having a bad day, check out a Keis video. Like instantly spirits are raised. Like you just have a great outlook on life, genuine, like not fake, not like, hey guys, come on. It's like very genuine, comes across as genuine at least. Maybe you are fake, who knows?
No, like this. I mean, the majority of my videos, I would be doing the exact same thing whether I had the camera or not. I try not to let my videos, you know, dictate the day. I try and do it the other way around. This is my day. This is what I'm going to do. How do I make a video from this? As opposed
yeah, so that talks a little bit about your process. I'd love to talk a little bit about that. Like, are you storyboarding your videos that you're doing each day, or do you have it in your head? Are you writing it down? What's that process look like for you?
There's no storyboarding. I like to think of I think of titles. So I've got titles in my phone. Every time I like come up with an idea for a title, I'll jot it down in my phone, and then it's like, what video can I shoot and grab a title that will work, that will tie in with my day. And I sort of, my daily process is I knock out my edit in the morning. It takes around an hour and a half to 2 hours. Get that out, get that up, and then I start thinking about the day. And I think, okay, today I want to go here. What title can I use for that, and how can I tie that all in? Then once I come up with a small idea, I jump in the shower, and the shower is like my think tank. I have no idea why, but when I have a shower in the morning, and I think there's absolutely no distractions. So I start coming up with the things I'm going to talk about. And then the rest is just sort of, I build it as I go. I find the less I plan and the more spontaneous I am, the better the result. I just need a small idea and then let the rest sort of form as it does. And a lot of the time, my title or the video changes. You know, I did a tuk-tuk one the other day, and it ended up being about me getting a free suit as opposed to me.
That was a great video, by the way. That was really good.
Thank you.
Done.
Thank you. I'm really happy with that. And I've got fitted for the suit and everything. So that's all happening as well. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I just love how nice you were in that video to everyone. Like you could have been like, no, but very nice, polite. And you were upfront. Like, listen, this is probably not the most cost-effective way to get around, but like, if you want to have a good time and spend a little bit of money, like this is the way to do it. You know?
I had fun. I enjoyed it. So yeah, good experience.
Yeah. So it's so interesting. One of the things I had, or do you put limits on your time editing or on your editing for the videos? You put like a 1 hour here, 2 hours there?
No, just sort of, however, I do try and make the most of my time. You know, for me, my priorities in life, time is my ultimate currency. I care most about time. So if I'm doing something where if I'm taking a taxi for 20 minutes, I'll bring the computer with me and I'll knock out 20 minutes of my edit or 20 minutes of something in that time. So I'm not wasting my time. But for the most part, no, I just sort of edit until the video is done. I put the video together, and then I'll go back and watch it, and I pull bits out and I strip it down until about the 8 to 10 minute mark, if it's a longer video than that.
Yeah, I feel like editing is the best dietary help, because I don't think about eating when I'm editing. It's all about just like, hey, have some water, maybe some caffeine, and I'm in it to win it, man. Like, I don't like to have time constraints on my editing. That's where like I feel like your creativity goes out the window. You know, I got to be done in 30 minutes. Like, just knock this out. Same thing for you?
Yeah, and you know, it's funny. Like, it's actually, this is going to sound really weird. It's actually my favorite hangover cure as well. If I've been out drinking or something and I sit down on the computer, because you're so focused in what you're doing and putting it together, by the time I finish it, I feel great about finishing the project, and I get up and I'm like, oh, my hangover's gone. Like, I'm sweet. I'm back. Because it's just been so focused.
Yeah. I
don't advise it. It's not fun, but
yeah, that's great. And so I wanted to kind of get into like what's in your bag. We talked about this a little bit. So What's your go-to camera? What's your daily vlogging equipment look like?
Yep.
I'm sure people love to hear about that.
Yeah, and a cool thing on that is I hate bags, right? I try not to carry a bag or a backpack. So
Are you a
my
cargo
camera,
pants kind of guy? You wear little cargo shorts or no?
not cargo shorts, but I don't need much, right? So this is a GoPro Hero 9. I like GoPro for several reasons. I love that they're indestructible. Because I drop it, I kick it, I knock it over, it falls downstairs. I'm using it every single day, and it needs to be versatile. So GoPros are bulletproof. I have a Rode external mic that I use because I think sound is really important. And this is on a extendable stick, which cost me like $5 in Chinatown 5 years ago, and it's still holding up strong. And just a little tripod on the bottom, so I can sort of sit it anywhere. It's sort of a height that if I sit on a bench, it'll come up to me.
Yeah, and then you got the windsock on there. So a lot of people call that the dead cat because it looks like a dead cat on top.
Yep.
But do you feel like that's super important? A lot of YouTube creators don't like to use that. They're like, I don't like the way that looks, but it's super critical for the sound, right?
Absolutely. I think sound's a really important thing. I hate wind noise in videos. I hate background noise. This is a directional mic, which is good. So if there's noise at a construction site, if I'm filming this way, if there's noise at a construction site there, it won't really come into the video, which is great. So this is just what I like to use. I think phones are fantastic now, and you can shoot great videos on phones. I just want my phone to be my phone. Another positive that I really like about this is the interchangeable battery. So I have it on all the time when I'm out, not recording, but I have it on when I'm out all day so that it's always ready to go. And if I see something interesting, I don't have to fuck around with it and turn it on or put it in the mode or whatever. I just hit the button on top and we go, because sometimes you just be walking along and I don't know, like a nice Lamborghini will drive past or something. I'm like, oh shit, bang, you get the shot every time. So interchangeable batteries, I just put one or sometimes two batteries in my pocket, and that's all I need for the day. So I don't.
No problems with overheating on that device, huh? You ever had it overheat?
No, I've heard about this. I haven't had an issue with it.
You're such a cool guy. That's why, Keis. You're so cool.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I like that. That's good. So yeah, this is my go-to. This is pretty much all I use now. I came out here and I had a big Canon camera that I wanted to use, and it's got a nice lens and the image is amazing. But at the end of the day, like the GoPro is just, it's perfect. I can get the shots. I know how to use it so well. I can get the shot every time.
Yeah, have you ever been a bit like when you've taken your other camera out by not having the exposure set or the frame rate is the wrong way? Have you been bit like that where you get back, you're like, I got some great footage? Nope.
Yeah,
wrong
but just
rate.
mostly time consuming as well. Like I can knock out. I mean, I can put it together an 8-minute video. I can do it in 15 minutes if I'm really trying. I rarely do, but every now and then I do. Because I can just get those shots one and done, and they're perfect. But it's just I've used it 400.
Yeah,
made nearly 400 videos now, so I should have the hang of it by now.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, pretty impressive, man. Really impressive. So it's interesting because one thing I saw, I was actually mentioning this to a friend of mine watching one of your videos. I think it was maybe the tuk-tuk one that you did, where you had the opportunity just to show some B-roll in between your talking scenes. But instead of doing that, you sped it up. It was almost like a time lapse, but if I was being critical, I'd probably think maybe like a 4X speed up. And then you did like a speed ramp on that. And where I'm going with this is you weren't lazy with the scene. You could have just phoned it in and put the clip in with some music, but you were like, I'm going to make this interesting. Let's speed ramp it, 4X the speed. That little stuff like that, man, I think is why your channel is going to be a 100K channel. I feel like those are the things that the smart channels are doing.
That's a great compliment. Thank you.
Yeah. Do you think about that when you're editing? Like, I want to put something in there like that.
I do. A lot of that is shaped around the music as well. I'm like, oh, this would be a good time for a time lapse or something. But I mean, truthfully, I've come home sometimes from shooting and been disappointed with I've been like, okay, I've been lazy now because I know between talking, I need like minimum 4 B-roll shots. And sometimes I get 4 lazy B-roll shots. And when I'm editing the next day and I look at it, I'm upset with myself. I'm like, I was just mailing this in. That's not good enough. And I definitely put more effort in the next time. So it kind of, yeah, it flows. I get into a comfort zone and I get so fast and easy with it. And then every now and then I'll have a moment where I'm like, that's shit. Actually, the video I put out yesterday, which is actually performing really well, I was really unhappy with at the time of editing it. I almost didn't want to put it out. And now performing really well and getting great comments on it. But I feel like that video is really lacking. It obviously didn't show to the audience, which is fantastic, but you do need to be disciplined with yourself as well, and really put in that effort.
Yeah, and I feel like so time lapses look cool. Like Alpha Interactions is saying, time lapses keep viewers watching, but they're incredibly difficult to do, and not on paper. On paper, it's easy. You just set it up, time lapse. It takes about 10 minutes to do like a 15, 20-second video. Keis, is that about how much you get? So the problem with that is there's always some a-hole that walks in front of your camera during that 20 minutes. So you're like, damn it, now I got to go a little bit longer. Then I got to edit that out in post. And editing a time lapse is not easy because then it looks a little jerky and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. But I see the reason I use so much B-roll and I do like time lapses is because what I'm trying to do is just show Bangkok, right? Like I said, like I would ideally not even be in the videos. I just want to do the shooting part, and I want people to watch my videos and get excited about coming out here, because I've watched videos before I went to Laos. I was looking up Laos vlogs, and I want to see the city. I want to see what I'm going to more than like listen to someone talking. And that's why I don't ever try and talk for like more than a minute at most, because I don't like all that blah, 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 blah. So that's where I go with that. And that's why I use so much B-roll, and the time lapses are a great way to show the city and the madness of places like Bangkok.
Yeah, are you aware like how different your channel is, the way you start your videos? And you actually do this a lot during the video where you walk up to the camera. I don't see that a lot at all. Do you see like other YouTube creators kind of copying that a little bit? Because I don't see anyone else doing that.
I do see people copy things like while I say they're copying me, I've copied it all myself. I haven't come up with all of this, but I very early on, I would study my analytics, and I've worked out a formula that works. I've got a tremendous retention rate. My average retention's usually always above 60%, which is really high for YouTube. And at the beginning, my drop off, I've gotten rid of that drop off at the beginning, which is nice. So that's just from playing around with the formula and working out what works. And I also criticize when I watch other people's videos. Some people are just walking all the time, and I'm like, where is this guy walking? That's what I start thinking when I'm watching it. So I like to walk and then sit down, but it has to link up with the time before. So there is a bit of thought process to it. It's all very automatic now, but I did originally think about it all at the beginning.
Yeah, I love this. I could talk to you hours about this, but I'm sure people don't want to hear me talk about this. But one video you did recently with Johnny in Hua Hin. So first of all, congratulations to Johnny for the 100K subs. Wow.
Absolutely. That's
totally
awesome.
deserves it, man. That guy, king of thumbnails, and just his content, incredible.
The titles.
Man, did you see his recent one where he edited down 217 videos down to like 90 seconds?
Oh, is it out? We were talking about it.
He took a picture on Facebook of his timeline, and my God, man, all the videos, just unreal. It took him like 20 hours plus. I'm actually surprised it took him that little. It would have taken me like 40 hours,
Yeah, we were texting the other night, and he was telling me about it. I haven't seen it yet, but
yeah. So I guess the question I have about Johnny, Johnny's been on the show once before. I see him as being like incredibly nice guy. He's very flamboyant on camera. What Johnny is he really in real life? Is he that nice guy, or is he a little bit of both?
Yeah. He's very much like he is on camera. And I'd like to think I am too. So we get along great. It's nice to hang out with another Aussie. No, I was a huge fan of his videos. I love how he walks the line with his titles of what's appropriate. That the title and the thumbnail don't necessarily, they only represent a small part of the video, but it's not clickbait. It's not, sometimes it is a little too much. For the most part, is like right on that line of what's okay. And I love that. I love that's the story. I love hearing how, and he gets a kick out of that as well. So
yeah, for sure. I love that he's like a student of the game. Like he loves to push the envelope. He's really into that. He does a great job with his thumbnails, like you're saying, the titles. I don't know where he comes up with the stuff, man. Just so creative. He should have been doing that in real life. I feel like he could have been a great, creator, like for a career, like doing that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, the funny thing is he didn't take it all that seriously. It's sort of just for fun, and he makes great money from it now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, his views are excellent. Yeah, great guy. Hope to have him back on the show at some point. I'll probably get demonetized during that interview, though. Well, like set the record for F-bombs during that show. But I love Johnny. I think he's great. So congrats on the 100K. But
Yeah.
Keith, I guess the question I have to kind of wrap things up is where to next? I know you've been to Laos, you've been to Vietnam, you've been all over the place. Are you looking to get out of Thailand soon to kind of go other countries?
So firstly, I'm not a planner. Like I don't like to think of things in long term. I personally don't believe in, like, people say, what's your 5-year plan? And I don't believe in 5-year plans. And I know this is a controversial take because I've said this before and people are like, what? That's crazy. My mindset is if you plan something for 5 years, once you reach that point in 5 years time, you're only achieving what you thought was okay back here. Whereas in 5 years time, I want to look back at myself from 5 years ago and be like, that guy had no fucking idea. I want to, continue to improve in every way possible. So I don't plan a lot. I've renewed this condo for another year, which I mentioned before. I want it to be like a travel vlog, really. So I want to go everywhere, basically.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, it sounds
but
great.
the plan is to be based here and just sort of every month or every 2 months jump to another country. Japan is probably top of my list. It's my favorite country in the world to visit. I'm just waiting for it to warm up a little bit there and get back to Korea and just sort of everywhere, really.
Yeah. So, Keith, I want to thank you for coming on the show today. You did a great job. Thank you for coming on. A little story I wanted to share about you, about what a nice guy you are, is, you originally scheduled to come on the show about a year ago. I had some personal issues happen with the channel. I shared those stories with you. You were so supportive. You checked in during that time. Hey, how's things going? I'm here for you if you need it. So just want to really thank you for all your support during the year. And thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you very much for inviting me. And especially even more like a year ago when you originally invited me, at that time I wasn't, didn't have the success that I do now on YouTube. So I appreciate you reaching out to me back then. So I'm stoked to be on the show. I love doing things like this.
Great. So I guess the last question I have for you, Keith, is can I invite you back on the show when you hit 100K subscribers? Will you come on a lowly show like mine at 100K?
Absolutely. I hope you have me back on before that, but yeah, absolutely.
Oh, great. Keith, thank you so much for your time. I feel like I talked to you for hours, so much great information, but thank you for coming on. I want to wish you a great rest of your evening. Say hello to Dan for all of us.
Will do.
Great. Anything you want to say to your subscribers on your way out?
Sorry, what was that?
Anything you want to say to your subscribers on your way out?
I don't really care about them. No, I'm joking. No, look, thank you to everyone that supports. I'm very, very fortunate for the life I get to live now. And I do take moments to really appreciate that. Every time I have one of my sunset beers in Pattaya or wherever, like I put my phone away and I, really soak in the moment and think like, this is my life now. And I, can live this ridiculous lifestyle. And it's thanks to everyone that watches. So I'm truly grateful to everyone that supports. And thank you for having me on the show. It's been a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, my pleasure, Keith. I'll be in touch with you and have a great rest of your evening. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Man, Keith is great. Love that conversation. I do feel like I could just talk to him for hours. I actually looked up and it was time for him to go. I felt so bad. We didn't even get through the tech talk. There's more stuff I want to talk about. His MacBook Pro he just purchased, the brand new one. Oh, so much great stuff to talk to him. But we're going to have him back. And I just feel like, man, that guy gets it. 100K easy all day long with that channel. I place a bet my paycheck on that happening. So Keis One saying, thanks to everyone that tuned in today. Phil T saying, good job. And so guess what? This is how we're, if you're new to the channel, new to the show, we got vlogger news coming up. Now, the guests that were on last week, Eat Out Pattaya, these guys are great. Oh man, so hilarious. And they got their own channel that's talking about restaurants in Pattaya. So we're going to talk to them in just a couple minutes. But remember, if you were on the show in the beginning, we had Thailand Rob that couldn't make it actually this week and is rescheduling because he has a little bit of a, funeral to go to. But he did record the intro and outro for Vlogger News. So I got that to play. We're going to play that video. I'm going to have a drink of water because I can barely talk guys, talking too much today. And we're going to bring Tom and Ryan onto the live show, and we're going to talk about all the great vloggers for this week. So let me play the intro, and we'll get going.
Tweet Seconds in Thailand, Thailand Rob here, and this is Vlogger News on the Richard Travel live show stream. Yeah, that. 20 Seconds in Thailand, Thailand Rob. Hey, this is 20 Seconds in Thailand, Thailand Rob. And this is 20 Seconds in Thailand, Thailand Rob. And you're watching Richard's Travel. Hey, this is 20 Seconds in... Hey, this is 20 Seconds in Thailand, Thailand Rob. And you're watching Vlogger News on Richard's Travel.
Tom and Ryan, welcome to the Saturday Live Show.
Hello,
Good
sir.
evening.
I got to tell you, that intro might seem kind of long, but I just got everything lined up in time because you guys require a whole different overlay, like images in the different areas. It's nuts, man. Nuts.
We're big.
I'm glad I'm on top this week.
Look at Tom. Yeah. Very funny, Ryan. I knew that was going to come out of Ryan's mouth. Tom, what are you watching in the background there, man? What football?
Oh, just the Michigan game's coming on. So
Okay.
it's all right. Don't worry. I've got it on one of the other screens.
Great. Well, thanks for that copyright strike that's coming tomorrow, probably from YouTube. Thank you. Appreciate that.
I can't
Always
put
the
the
gentleman.
It's not started yet. It's not started.
Richard, before I speak, I got something to say real quick. If you go down to the store, you can get the carbon there. It's an anti-diarrhea, and it helps out with nausea and everything like that. So I'll try to send you some for next time we come on the show.
Yeah. All right. So I'm busted because I shared that story with you guys pre-show about. So for those that don't know, I was actually really sick during the show last week. I almost threw up before Sky Samuels came on. I was actually looking at how to turn off my monitor, my camera for the show. I really was that close. And then it happened again for the vlogger news period. So
that's not what you told us. You said Tom and I came on and you felt ill. And I was like, gee, thanks. And you want us back? Are you bulimic?
Yeah, basically trying to control the weight through that. So thanks for busting me out there. Appreciate that, Ryan. So guys, it's vlogger news time. So excited to talk to you today because you had a great video on your channel recently that was talking about, I think it was Peaky Blinders, right?
Yeah, back to Peaky for Thanksgiving.
What's the deal with the hashtags here? Ryan, who's doing this? Is this you or Tom?
That's called the amateur hour.
Come on, man. We got to put that in. I should have asked Keis about this. Do we need to put this in the title, man? Can we put it in the description? My God, man, come on. What is going on here?
I guess that's why we're under 100 subs there, Richard. So I mean, you can't expect too much out of us. Yeah, I mean, I'm working with that's the male versions of Mary Poppins down there. So.
That's great. Boy, Ryan's on form today, man.
He always is.
Yeah, I had
thanks for finally changing your background, by the way. You had some other crazy channel you're promoting last time. Now you got Eat Out Pattaya on there. Yeah, finally. Yeah.
I got the old Raging Cajun now behind me today. So
yeah. So talk to me about this restaurant now. Was it kick-ass? Was it like an American Thanksgiving, Ryan?
110%. ET's from Texas, and he's a properly trained chef. So you got all the fixings, everything what you saw in the video, the turkey, the stuffings, you name it, he had it there. If you used to it on Thanksgiving, it was there. And I can tell you, I saw the menu going in, so I paced myself. Now, if you'll ever believe it or not, and I put it in there, the person that ate the most, hands down, by far, was Greenie. I mean, I tell you,
really?
You know how those little Thai women eat a lot? Greenie could have gave them a run for their money that day. And I'm looking over saying, we got some 300-pounders sitting at the table, and Greenie at 165, 150, whatever he is, soaking wet, was, just cleaning house. And I was impressed. Very impressed for Greenie that day. And but I paced myself because I knew dessert was coming. He had the pecan pie and the pumpkin pie and everything. So it just a proper just a just a great meal all around.
Yeah.
So I got to tell you, so my Thanksgiving was interesting because my mom had Thanksgiving with the mom. Got to do that, right?
Brilliant.
So she's a big Butterball person. Now, Ryan, you know this brand, Butterball, big in America.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is big outside of America. Big brand, but we didn't get that this year. I insisted on going to an undisclosed location. Again, this turkey that was brined inside, and it was horrible. So my call, again, I totally screwed up the Thanksgiving, man. My fault.
I don't know if they have it on the West Coast, but down south, you can actually go to Popeyes and get their turkeys there, and it comes Cajun injected and everything. And I tell you what, that's one of the best turkeys you're going to get.
Wow.
If you're lazy and don't want to fry it yourself, just go to Popeyes.
Tom, have you embraced the Thanksgiving holiday from America? Are you going out hanging out with all these Americans?
Yes. Last year I went to Route 66, and this year we went to Peaky Blinders. I went to Peaky Blinders. I know the owner really well. I got on my hands and knees and begged for a table.
Big Daddy L. Rob saying, Tom and Ryan, the Hall and Oates of eating in Pattaya.
Yeah, I told the group they owe me a drink because I really did have to get my hands and knees, and E.T., Peaky Blinders owner, well, thank you very much. You outdid yourself.
That's awesome. So I want to get talking about some of the vloggers that we both follow. Great video, by the way. I think your channel is going to continue to explode as more and more people look for restaurants. I'm still waiting for that Smoking Joe's video, but I guess that's not on the list. I guess I don't carry any pull. Richard Travel One's Smoking Joe's. Forget that guy.
If we keep going with these restaurants, the next channel is going to be my 600-pound life. I mean, it's getting bad.
Oh, I'd subscribe to that. That sounds like a good channel. So great. So Greenie Travels had his traditional expat Thai wedding party. Now, last week I screwed up and said it was a Thai wedding. It's actually the party. So the best part of getting married is the party.
It was.
Did you guys go to that?
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. We was there.
Did Greenie get drunk? Get all shit faced?
Not really.
He behaved himself pretty well.
Yeah?
There were so many people there. There was like over 100 people there. It was crazy.
It literally looked like another vloggers meetup.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So what'd you like the most about this video? What do you like about Greenie's channel?
Well, Brian keeps a good channel. I tell you what, I'm getting more and more impressed with Greenie and his editing. I mean, he's starting to put some cinematic type quality out there now with a lot more stills. He's not doing as much walking and talking as a lot of people do. He's doing a lot more intro stills and introducing his video. I mean, he's getting to really get good. I think Greenie's going to be over 20 before long.
Yeah. Well, I discovered Greenie Travels. I take credit for that.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. I'm not going to be that a-hole. Like, I discovered this guy. No, Greenie was going to make it regardless. I had him on when he was like 100 subscribers. Thanks to Tommy J. Tommy J actually turned me on. See, another channel Tommy J found. This guy is incredible with the channels.
He's like Inspector Clouseau of YouTube.
Yeah. So, Tom, did you get drunk during this wedding party?
No, I was driving.
Oh, you're driving. Oh, okay.
No, but the wife did.
All right, the wife did. No, that's good. Still fun in the household. Now, I think they make such a great couple, Greenie and Fi. They're coming on the channel in a couple weeks. They're just a great couple. I love Fi. She's awesome, and she has her own channel too. So I don't know if she's still putting up videos there, but I know she was kind of doing that for a little while. Brian was helping her out a little bit.
I think putting up with Greenie's a full-time job for her. I don't think she has the time for YouTube.
Well, she's got a lot of business interests now. She's like
Yes,
a realtor, nail salon. She's got a lot of different things, man. It's incredible. She's not lazy. She stayed busy.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's her excuse to get out the house.
Got to go, Brian. Talk to you later. About 4 hours. So a new channel for me that you guys turned me on to was Thai Nomads. I checked this out yesterday. This is very good. This is a favorite of yours, right?
Yes.
What do you like so much about this one? What's so good about this, Tom?
Because they went to America, they studied in America, they're fully qualified teachers, came back and gave back to the country. And they're very, very humble people. They're very minimalistic as well. They lead the right type of lifestyle,
Yeah, I could have sworn that they did a video with either Chuck or Joe recently.
I believe they were spawned out of that whole Chuck, Joe, Chocolate Man, that whole gang there, as I would say, that YouTube clique. And they're on their way up. They're young, energetic, and Thai. I mean, and speak very good English. So they're on their way.
I feel like if there's one request I'd have with Chuck and Joe is, can we just combine the channels into one channel? Come on, guys. The same area. Come on. Let's just have one channel, Chuck and Joe. You know.
Yes. Yeah.
That sounds like a good idea.
Too many
Chuck and
videos to
Joe
watch,
channel.
man. Too many videos to watch. They're all great. That's funny. Yeah, so that's a great channel. I checked that out. It's definitely, guys, consider subscribing to that. I think the moderators are putting the link in there, which is good. And they're saying T and D are nice people. That's great, Cobus. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Baldy Bryan says Richard Travel is a Cape Canaveral of YouTube. It's been a launch pad for so many successful YouTubers. I love doing it, man. I love promoting anyone that's producing great quality content. I can't take the credit for it, but I love doing it.
I just feel like I'm on the Artemis mission. We're on a delay for takeoff.
Well, I think you are. Just keep doing what you're doing. The cool thing about your channel, I think, guys, is that content can be watched at any time. So you can come back to a video that you filmed like 2 months ago, and it's still relevant. Like if I'm there in Pattaya, oh, the Peaky Blinders, what is that? I'm going to check that. Oh, looks great. I'm going there. Bam. So I think the views are going to really pick up once the channel explodes, which it will. I think the views are going to exponentially increase as well. I don't know if you see that.
That's the general hope. And if it doesn't, we're still having fun making the videos. It really is, we're going to eat anyways. Might as well pull out a camera like every other person and film it. So,
yeah. Are you still paying Mr. Mitch to do all your video editing? Or are you trying to do that yourself now?
No, not really anymore. So he's getting kind of expensive. I mean, I can only feed him. It's like I had to ask him, do we want to feed you or fill you? Because if I got to fill you, I don't have the budget for that living here. So
Mr. Mitch putting the link for Thai Nomads up there. I appreciate that. Yeah. And David from Wales said, that's a good idea, Chuck and Joe. Yeah, for sure. I think they should. Joe's probably like, you better shut up, Richard.
Yeah, well, they're old. They're not up watching this at this time. So.
That's right. And that's why, just so they know, like, it's so funny because Chuck and Joe, good friends of mine, love those guys to death. And the reason I've reached out to them recently is because it's so late now with the time change. I didn't even want to, they probably won't even consider coming on. Right. I want them to come on the show, but it's like, it's so late for them. I feel bad. Like, Joe's long asleep by then.
Well, if you extend the show another hour, that's when they're generally waking up. So
that's a good point.
Now
I feel like Tom never sleeps because Tom, you'll be on the show tonight and then you're up like at 5 a.m. the next day doing your live stream on your channel. Thai Digital Nomads, right?
Yes, right. So 8 o'clock on a Sunday evening. So in
Thai time.
Thai time. Yeah. So it's not too bad. But there's like American football. Then there's the stock markets and the markets, which I follow. So
yeah,
I don't sleep that well anyway, really.
Yeah,
he's lying. He's got a 5-year-old that keeps him busy.
Running around. Well, speaking of 5-year-olds, so Ryan and Mo's channel, Life in Bamboo, used to be the Naked Guru back in the day.
Correct.
But great channel there as well. And I haven't profiled it in a while. He was on the show about 1.5 years ago. And wow, man, I feel like that's one of my most interesting guests I've had on, just his perspective. Is that why you kind of like his channel, his interesting perspective on mental health and all things kind of Thailand?
Yeah, exactly. And also he's a minimalistic. He lives minimalistic, so he's not trying to keep up with the Joneses. He's just out there living the life in the jungle. It's not for everybody, but it's for him. He loves it,
Yeah. I try to live minimalistic too, but that's also known as I'm broke. So
did you practice that joke in the mirror this morning or
no? No, I was doing other things in the mirror this morning. Thank you.
Now there you go. See, you take it way too far, right? Take it way too far. It's a family channel.
I always
kids listening.
Yeah, not at this time. I always joke around with Tom. He's claiming to be on the minimalistic lifestyle. I'm like, yeah, that's that nice 55, 60-inch flat screen behind you, Mr. Minimalist.
Yeah, exactly. Busted. And then like the first problem he had with his headset, he went out and got a brand new one. That was last week. I'm going to get a brand new one.
You want to talk about minimalism? You should see my green screen. It's literally made out of construction paper that I got from Friendship Market for like 100 baht.
I did
and you're not going to be able to see it because I got it on there, but here's my green tape.
Yeah. And it sounds like you're proud of that. Are you proud of that, Ryan? That
damn right I am.
It looks like shit. So just so you know.
Thank you. Hey, that's why I'm glad I got a bad computer screen as well. That way it distorts everybody on the monitor. Y'all all look like $1 million.
Yeah.
So when you
come over, Richard, when you come over, you're going to have to come out to the lunch bunch.
All right, I will.
This is what the lunch bunch is like. It's just one big laugh all the way through. The Thanksgiving lunch was 3.5 hours.
Oh, wow. That's great. That's lunch and dinner.
It was. We didn't eat
no
for a
more.
day.
Yeah,
I literally
so
didn't
funny.
eat for 24 hours.
So you guys turned me on to Jam Life in Thailand a couple weeks ago. I checked them out.
Yeah.
We talked about them last week, but I wanted to profile them again because, wow, again, what a great channel. She's doing a great job. I feel like she's up in her game with the video editing as well. And I feel like that's a channel that should deserve serious consideration to go check out the videos and subscribe. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. Meow Jim are just really genuine, good people and a good content, but they are fantastic people. Not only to just hang around with, but they're great to dine with and break bread with as well.
Just Alex is saying Mr. Mitra is charging him 3,000 baht a week to edit. Is that too much?
Yeah.
No, that sounds about right. That's market rate. Market rate.
Yeah. but Alex was charging Mitch 10,000 baht a week to bodyguard him.
Perfect. Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, CJ in Paradise says he's met both Chuck and Joe. Very nice people. They are very nice. That's why I love watching
people.
them. Really good stuff over there. It's great. So I feel like Jam Life in Thailand is a great channel. I think really sky's the limit for that one. Just needs to keep after it. Find the audience.
Yeah.
Similar to your channel, right?
Why not?
We're looking.
So, Tom, I wonder if I could ask a favor. Okay, I'm sorry, Brian. Did you want to say something there? I've talked over.
Well, it was either keep on with the food videos or switch over to another rating content, but we'd have to move that one over to OnlyFans. So,
yeah. See, I should have just kept interrupting you. That adds no value to the live show. Thank you.
They all can't be winners, Richard.
That's great.
Well,
hey, so I was going to ask a favor if you could run through the currency exchange with me, Tom, today.
Yeah,
That's
certainly.
something I haven't done yet. So, for my take, it looks like is the party over for the USD. It looks like the Australian dollar is unchanged, similar to the British pound. It's down to about 35.69 for the USD, but you see that kind of coming back a little bit, right?
Yeah, I see the USD coming back. If you look at the chart I've done this week, it's like hit a double bottom, so it's going to go back up again. And there's still more bad news within the economy. So when you look at this chart, that's a double bottom down there. You can't really see it. I can't really see it on the screen, but there's a double bottom. So I see it going back up to about 36 for now. We need to get through this trend line. If we get through this trend line, it's all the way back up again. I still see it going to 40.
Oh, really? And what's you think 40 by what, January?
Before March, yeah. It could be any time because the trouble is there's so many bad figures coming at the moment, with all this crypto Ponzi scheme, which they're not really releasing. These guys should be in jail. It's unbelievable.
It's interesting. I mean, do you think, Tom, like inflation is going to start to, affect Thailand with the weakness of the Thai baht?
It already has, really, to be honest with you. I've actually increased my budget by about 25%. So it already has, because the fuel prices went up, although the fuel prices are now coming back down. But it's the basic food prices have really gone up. It hasn't really affected the expats. I only get the information from my wife. She goes to the local markets and she tells me the food prices have all doubled and more.
Wow. Well, thankfully the price has not affected the size of your TV screen. That's not 25% smaller. That's still
no. But look, hopefully, the way I see the USD, because everything else is rubbish. So the only good currency is the USD, because everything else isn't. Well, it's just like monopoly money at the moment.
Yeah. Well, that's actually a really interesting take on that. The fact that you think it could be coming back around could happen, right?
Without a doubt. Yeah, this is really strong. This chart here where it bubbles along, and it might bubble along here, but eventually it will take off. So we got the CPI reading on the 13th of December in America. So when the Fed released that, that's going to be massive for gold, and for the also could be massive for the dollar.
Wow. What do you think, Ron? You get into this currency exchange info?
No, I still just put all my coins in a sock and just in a mason jar and bury it in the backyard and hope for the best.
And where do you live now?
What's your address again, Tom?
Great. Hey, guys, Mr. Mitch, let's get on that case right away, please. Moderators, get on that. Find out the address.
I live in the one tower on the 7th floor.
Somebody docs me.
I think you guys are going to be like requested to come back on the show over and over again. I just have so much fun talking to you and going through the vlogger news. Like, what a great channel you guys have there, Eat Out Pattaya. And then Tom, with you're doing like weekly live shows. Is that what you're doing on your channel?
Thailand we do them every week, and I only do them because Ryan's there. So it's a bit like the boys at the pub. So it's not monetized or anything. So it's not PG friendly. It's adult. It's an adult hour, really. So we talk about loads of things,
but that's okay.
Yeah, no, but it's loads of things we talk about. We talk about visas, health insurance, stuff like that. You know,
food.
It's quite interesting. But we have loads of great visitors on there. You know, most of the guys in your chat come on here, like Alex.
And, nice little community. That's what it's all about, right? Good community. Love that. So great. Nice, guys. Well, thanks for coming on, making the time. Like spur of the moment. I only hit you up like a day before. I was like, hey, you want to come back on? So busy doing other stuff.
I got notice this morning. I had to clear my schedule for tonight. I mean, I had a trip to all the go-go's and stuff like that. And I was like, let me stay at home for Richard.
I told Tom, like, I gotta get like a group chat going with the three of us here, so we're all on the same page. I figured that was going to happen, Ryan. You said it, not me. See again. See, Ryan. Come on, man. Got little kids listening into this show. Just kidding. Hey, but thanks for coming on, man. Great list of vloggers this week too. Thank you for your help in setting that up. I'm going to have Thailand Rob, 20 seconds in Thailand Rob, send us out with his hilarious intro and outro because he's just a funny guy. But thanks for coming on, guys.
Yeah, respect, Rob.
Cheers.
Respect. Yeah.
20 seconds in Thailand Rob. And that was the vlogger news for this week's Richard Travel Vlog Live Show Stream Network. Was I on there?
Add it up.
Man, there's so much to reset when those guys go off camera. Overlays got to change. Background's got to change. I just made the time cut. Oof, man, really nice. Hey, so we're going to kind of start to wrap up things here. I got a great outro coming, so stay tuned. Revise the outro. Got some good stuff in there. Next week, we have Baldy Brian in Thailand. Oh, this guy is great. If you weren't privy to it, a couple weeks ago, we had Baldy Brian come on for the Vlogger News. Oh, it was hilarious. That guy. Can't wait to have 45 minutes with that guy during a chat. It's going to be like off the rails crazy. And then CJ Paradise is saying, was a time live show. Mitch, can you drop a link? So yeah, Mr. Mitch gets a chance. It's Thailand Digital Nomad. There's a live stream at, I think it's 5 a.m. US Pacific, 8 a.m. US Eastern time. Not sure what that is in Thai time. That's 8 p.m. or what that is. And look for Jay says, look for the vacant lot near Ryan's place for that mason jar with all the currency in there. That's great. And Mr. Mitch says currency or GPS coordinates coming soon. That's great. Awesome. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed the show today. I look forward to these shows every week. Appreciate doing the videos. Again, our hearts go out to Boomer and Kamala, who unfortunately lost his life this week. Rob's dealing with that. He'll be on the show in a couple weeks. We'll try to work out the schedules and everything for him. And like I said, Baldy Brian in Thailand is coming on next week. And I'll ask for a favor from Lucas from Rides for Kicks to send us out with his outro. So Lucas, send us out. I'll see everyone next week, same time, same place.
And until next time, bye for now.
Everybody get your hands in the air.